when I decided to go to the Getty, I had this imagination of this big mountain full of stuff and files and documents and photographs which I could kind of basically dig through. And then it turned out it's a highly technologically sorted archive. Everything is computer-based, of course it is, and otherwise you wouldn't find anything. And as an artist, the approach to an archive would always be a visual one, or like a fisherman or something, and not like an accountant. And so the only few things I could actually go and check out visibly and go along shelves of things were like in a warehouse outside Inverness, which is in the north out of LA, an hour to the north, and see these, see things which they couldn't file, or which are not flat and wouldn't, work in their system, and actually will never be asked for anyways. They were like the sideline things which were in the drawer as much as the correspondence of someone or something. And so I saw those, this is a very, very banal and trivial archive situation, but I saw it with, basically a big warehouse. And then I saw these models, and the archivist and the restorer, which is in this case the same person, he showed me the photographs of what's in the box, and they were like really rundown models of like unfinished projects by Lautner. And unfinished projects by Lautner they always interest me because, anything unfinished or not being built. I had like a couple of projects I wanted to do with not built things, because with my way of working I can actually visualize things which haven't been there. And so I thought like, oh, this would be interesting. And then we unwrapped, we opened up these unbelievable cases which other people would like live in or something. And what came out was like these tiny, rundown, like really kind of beaten up, destroyed, bleached out, dribbled on models, like in the size of a shoebox or something. Very fragile and not, they don't take light very well. And I thought they were really interesting because they were tools, and I'm always interested in the status of the model because, when you go out of the street and you ask about models, most of the people would say, oh, it's a puppet house model, or, people kind of relate to models as a diminution of reality in a sense. But models are actually something which we use every day for anything. Like the weather forecast is a model. A laboratory for DNA structure is basically based on the idea of a model, because otherwise you wouldn't understand how complex the DNA is actually working. Like anything even your retirement plan is a model in a sense. Like how old do people get in average, and how much will they need, and how old are you going to get, and how much can you afford? That's a model too. And how we perceive the world is actually model based. And so in this sense I thought like these models are visually tools. They are made to understand space, give instructions to someone else, and that's it. It's not about presentation, it's not about visual, it's not about selling the client a thing. It's just about this kind of simple inner office communication, but three-dimensional.